Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Anya, and on this channel I usually taught Ukrainian sign language, but this video is one of the 9 new videos where I talk about new topics that interest me apart of sign language. And the topic today is books. As a kid, I loved books. I was reading a lot. I was like one of those kids that read like 50 or 60 books per year, which was crazy. And now I'm like, oh my god, how can I finish 20 in a year or like 15 in a year? And as a kid, I was crazy about books, both fiction and non-fiction. And now I'm trying to get that back and get back into reading because that's really important. And now in the era of doom scrolling and TikTok, Instagram and everything, I really want to get back to reading more. And today I'm going to talk about the first book, and I want to start a tradition on my channel where each month I'm talking about one book I read. And so that I can be also accountable to you, that I read and I actually do my reading and not just talk about it. And yeah, and then you'll get to know a new book every month. So I think it's fair exchange. And as a book of August and my first book on this channel, I will be talking about book of David Lynch, and the book is called Catching the Big Fish. Firstly, I really want to introduce David Lynch himself. He was, unfortunately, he died recently in January 2025, which is a big loss to the artist community. And David Lynch was a great filmmaker, but he also was an artist, he was a painter, and as well a music maker. As a filmmaker, Lynch is very different. He is a bit surrealistic, and it takes a lot of thinking to actually understand his work. You may know his films Eraserhead, Elephant Man,
Mulholland
Drive, or also series Twin Peaks. There are 3 seasons. Or also Blue Velvet, which I just watched recently. But aside of being a filmmaker, an artist, and a music maker, he was also really into transcendental meditation, which is really interesting, and you can also read about it. I'm not a professional, but I tried it like once. And the book he read, this one that is called Catching the Big Fish, talks a lot about this meditation and how meditation impacts the creativity and the making itself, like making of films, making of books, making of music, just making in itself. So firstly, I want to talk about the book overall. I really loved it. It's really short. It's like less than 100 pages, and because of that I was like, okay, I will start with something small. And the Lynch also talks about the people he worked with and about his feelings while he was creating his biggest projects like Dune, for example. I really loved that. It was really important for me to see his vision while he was doing the things that I watched. Even though the book itself was really small, I noted so many things. I love Kindle because you can just mark stuff and then you can go through it without flipping through the pages, so that's really nice digital part of the world. The thing that stood out most to me was a really short note he said. I will actually read it to you, and it really inspired me to do the video today. I was really stuck in this state of wanting to film something but not actually doing it, and instead thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it all over again, and thinking about the details, what should I say here and here, but not actually doing anything, okay? And then I read this page yesterday and I was like, okay, this is my sign to do this, and then I did it, and if you see this video, it worked. The part that stood out to me the most was called having a setup. And what he says is it's crucial to have a setup so that at any given moment when you have an idea, you have the place and the tools to make it happen. If you don't have a setup, there are many times where you get the inspiration, the idea, but you have no tools, no place to put it together. And the idea just sits there and festers. Over time it will go away. You didn't fulfill it, and that's just a heartache. I read it and then I was like, okay, how do I do a setup for my video? And then I just started put my camera to charge. I found my batteries for my microphone, and I put my штатив. I put all my filming stuff just in my room next to my door. And then when I got back from work, because I worked earlier today, I was like, okay, I have everything ready. I just need to sit and I just need to talk and film it, and yeah, then I'm done. So that way, because I already had a setup, the video making was so much easier and I didn't have to think anymore because I had everything ready. There was a part of the book where Lynch was talking about Van Gogh, but also about people and artists who create in suffering, and that a lot of suffering brings a lot of beautiful art. And then he said about the suffering people, and his opinion is, the opinion of David Lynch, is like, you don't have to suffer to create art, you can create it happy as well. And then he said that right here people might bring up Vincent van Gogh as an example of a painter who did great work in spite of, or because of, his suffering. I like to think that Van Gogh would have been even more prolific and even greater if he wasn't so restricted by the things tormenting him. I don't think it was pain that made him so great. I think his painting brought him whatever happiness he had. I think it's really important that we remember that suffering is not a good thing. And this poor artist metaphor is not a great one, and it doesn't come from a great place. Another really beautiful quote I found from this book is from a chapter called Beauty. When you see an aging building or a rusted bridge, you are seeing nature and man working together. If you paint over a building, there is no more magic to that building. But if it's allowed to age, then man has built in it and nature has added into it. It's so organic. I just found it beautiful. No comments on this one. I just really liked it. And the last quote I want to share with you is about the logic of watching the film, or rather said, art of watching the film. And it really summarizes how Lynch sees the art of watching films itself. I think you should try to see the whole film through and try to see it in a quiet place, on as big as a screen as you can, with as good a sound system as you can. Then you can go into that world and have that experience. Okay, so this was my video. This was my first book talk. Book talk is about book TikTok, booktube. Do people actually say that? I'm not sure. So that was the video where I talked about the book I read. This was the book of August, David Lynch, Catching the Big Fish. And as a book of September, I will be reading this one. In Ukrainian, you would say Dreди, Batli i Stili. This book is written by Daria Antsibor. And in English, you would say Dreads, Battles, and Stili. I'm not sure how to say stili in English though. This book is about subcultures in Ukraine. I also bought it in Ukraine on my last vacation, and yeah, I'm really excited for it because I love subcultures and learning about that stuff. So I will be reading it, haven't yet started, so I cannot tell you anything, but we'll be talking about this book in September. Thank you for watching with me. Thank you for talking about the book with me together. If you have any comments on Catching the Big Fish, please write them in the comments. I would be really excited to read them and discuss the book with you. If you have thoughts on this book, drop them in the comments as well. And if you also have any suggestions, which book should we discuss, then also write it, because I'm looking for inspiration. I only have like 3 more books I want to read, and then I'm open to new books as well. Yeah, thank you for staying until this moment in the video. Don't forget to stay hydrated. It's really, really hot here in Germany. So yeah, glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes, and all the best to you. Bye-bye!